There are certain things about astrology that everybody should know, first of all. And the first thing is astrology is the science of the rishis. It's a divine science. Okay, so that's why we call it Vedic astrology. So for Vedic astrology, that means the person should have some basic Vedic sense. And that Vedic sense cannot come until person is in tapasya or kind of penance or certain amount of discipline. And you will see in the world today, like people who don't have Vedic sense, they are just practicing Vedic astrology. And the funny thing is, they don't want to even know about what is Vedic sense and how to have like proper Vedic discipline. And it is just like you don't want to go to the medical school, but you want to practice surgery. So there are certain repercussions around it if you still do without going into the Vedic discipline and then practicing Vedic astrology. That's the first thing. Now, the word for astrology in Sanskrit is Jyotish. And Jyotish is Jyoti-ish. Okay. It is to be light again. Okay. ISH in English, it means like. Okay. Like five-ish. Okay. Reddish and Jyotish. So Jyotish means to be light again, to become light again. And that's what the real Vedic astrology has its goal as. That any being who is born on this land, like entering in this mortal realm, should exit by becoming a light, becoming ray. So that's why you will see when the nakshatras are like aligned that way. The first nakshatra to be Ashwin and then the Revati by the end. So Ashwin or Ashwini means the light coming into the mortal realm, and then that light is becoming the ray again, like Revati, and going back to the source again. That's why you will see like all those nakshatras and all those houses are aligned that way. So that's about the very basics of Jyotish. And then the word astrology also, it has its root word like astral. Astral logic is astrology, and then astral logic also means the astra. So the grahas in the sky, they can work as astra for a being. Okay. So how they work as astra? So for that, one has to know the logic. And to know the logic, there has to be certain discipline. That is called Vedic discipline. Or in normal, simpler words, you can call it as tapasya. Okay. And you see the dialogue between Shiv and Parvati is what the all Vidyas are about. Okay. So then when Shiv is delivering to Parvati, okay. So what is Shiv doing? Shiv is basically in tapasya. Shiv is doing tapasya. And then there are rishis who are doing the tapasya. That's why rishis are like speaking those Vedic sciences. And that's how all the Ved come to light. That's how the all Puran comes to life. That's how all the Vedic knowledge is appearing on this land. So for astrology, the very basic, simple truth and the fact is that there has to be some Vedic discipline. There has to be like proper connection with nature, not like Buddha doing the practices under a tree and people who are following Buddha, they are inside the buildings. And you see, Krishna is in nature with cows, and the people who are following Krishna, they are into like buildings or temples or the stone architectures. So that's how it is. And astrologic is all about knowing the total construction, that how this whole construction is working, how this whole matrix is working, and what is the logic behind it, how that logic is established along with the basic five elements of the nature. Okay, so that's what astrology like deals with, and astrology certainly deals with how to navigate you on this plane. Like as you go up, so you reach the sky, like from earth to sky. And then as you reach the sky, you certainly have to deal with stars because the astral plane comes in between while you're moving upward. And if the astral plane has not come in between, that means you're not moving upward yet. That's the like primary elementary fact. Okay. So astrologic is something that everybody has to learn, and at least the basics should be very clear because that is all about your own composition. Like your horoscope is basically about the scope of your own birth. Okay. For example, the horoscope, it tells you the map of your life. Okay. It's the total map that where exactly you are. it shows you what exactly you have accumulated so far and how your journey is going to begin from here onwards. And then after, how you deal with situation, how you learn, how you increase your logics, how you practice, how you learn the discipline, and how you deal with your day-to-day life, that actually tells you uh, how you will navigate. That's how your grahas affect you. Because the word graha also means grahan. Grahan means to accept. Okay, so they accept your actions and then they give it back to you. So it's your life situations are basically your own actions, your own karma mirroring back into your life. So that's how it is. So that's what astrology actually deals with, you know. So the scope of astrology is like very big. Like for example, the first house, okay, it's the entry point into this realm, and 12th house is the exit point. Now people, because they have like that whole money orientation and that money mindedness, so that's why they call the 12th house as the house of the Vyay, although that house is the house of Avyay. Okay, that's Avyay Sthan, not like only the Vyay Sthan. So that deals with spending, but that also deals with expanding. Okay, so it's not only dealing with spending. That means it also deals with the expanse of the being beyond this realm. So that's about the like very basics of astrology. And as we say, like connect the dots. Everybody must learn to connect the dots. So connecting the dots means basically, in astrological way, it can be simply understood as like there are dots, like all star dots in the sky. That how better you can connect all those dots. Okay, so that to me is like real connecting of the dots. So if you can connect the dots, really what is happening in the sky, you can actually understand what is going to happen on this land. So that's what astrology basically deals with. That's about like very basics of astrology. So without dealing with the elements, without learning the basic Vedic discipline, and without the connection with the teacher, the guru, there is no astrology. There's no astrologic that can be ever learned. That's the very simple fact. For example, there is this verse which says, Shantaya Guru Bhaktaya Sarvada Satyavadine. Okay, so who are worthy of receiving the divine signs, who are Shant, Guru Bhakt, and who are ready to speak the Satya, truth. So truth doesn't mean like anything is truth. Truth is the purest form, Sat, Satya, and Sanatan is Satya. That's why you say like Satya Sanatan Dharma. So that's how one can learn basics of astrology, and one can learn like Jyotish in a proper, real, ancient guru disciple way.